What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. I go by the name of Self-Made Hustle TV, where the hustle has to be in you, not on you. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. If you digging my content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let me get this up off the screen. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to my shit.
Like, share, subscribe with your bitch ass.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. If y'all can hear me good, it put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me good. I need to make sure y'all can hear me good because, yeah, y'all can hear me good. Y'all can hear me good. All right. Well, fuck it. Let's get to it. Yeah, shit. You know? Let's get to it. That's something I wanted to show y'all real fast. A couple jams. Fuck it.
What it is, y'all? Send it here, see how we do. Church streets and friends stacked up.
And all I gotta say is what up? What up? What's happening?
What it do, man? Still a man from Japan to the blue flame. Still hit the door and make it rain with a loose chain. I bet that what he get a show.
My bad. My bad. Let's go. Hey.
Even if he did, this will probably be a disaster. Fuck complaining about it, ain't like you got cancer.
Hey, Westside, I need you in here, Westside. I need you in here. I got a story for y'all, man.
I feel like the whole world hating on you. But what's the hold up? The whole world waiting on you. I wake up and feel empty. Shit make you wanna squeeze the clock till it's empty. I'm already standing on the edge and don't tempt me. Fake motherfuckers hit me. I wake up and feel empty. Shit make you wanna squeeze the clock till it's empty. I'm already standing on the edge and don't tempt me.
Fake motherfuckers.
You mean to tell me from running my big mouth that I can chill here in this big penthouse? All elevated up, black hardwood floors, just to sit around and feel like it ain't yours. You kinda got you feeling like you done something wrong, but the flat screen saying, motherfucker, we on. Pardon me, nigga, do you see this view? See roof prints from here, what the fuck's wrong with you? Looking at my roadie ass, almost 7. Bill Gates state of mind with an automatic weapon. You might remember me for putting on for the city, or back when it was on, too gone for the fitted. Open up a few squares, open up a few tours, just to show niggas keys, open up doors. And we don't fuck with young no more, why not? The only thing I can figure cause he on top. I wake up and feel empty. Shit make you wanna squeeze your clock till it's empty. I'm already standing on the edge and don't tempt me. Fake motherfuckers hit me. I wake up and feel empty. Shit make you wanna squeeze your clock till it's empty. I'm already standing on the edge and don't tempt me. Fake motherfuckers hit me. What up, world? It's a long time, huh? Stop lying. Hey, look. Lately I've been off and out of sight, seldom out of mind. And get your being the right, stay the hell up out of mine. I'm out my mind trying to fix it for I'm out of time. Don't worry about me, God got me, bro, I'm doing fine. Another year in prison, promise this is it for me. Trying to make it through the storm, should be making history. No feeling sorry for me, keep your pity and your sympathy. Good or bad, take it like a man would ever been for. How I did it, make them hate my spirit, they wish they could kill it. And then take it however they can get it. Wanna see me full of misery, walking with my head down, let's decapitate him. You will see if he can wear his crown. I wake up and feel empty. Shit make you wanna squeeze the clock till it's empty. I'm already standing on the edge, so don't tempt me. Fake motherfuckers hit.
Fake motherfuckers envy. Man, listen. Listen. Listen, man. Listen.
All right. So, we talking about the Nipsey Hussle burger, man. The Nipsey Hussle burger shit, dog. I just found out some shit. Shout out to Rap Street Politics, man. I want y'all to see some shit real bad. This ain't the live, dog. This ain't the open panel. We gonna do the open panel in a little bit. This is not. We gonna do it at 3, and I'm gonna be on time today. I swear to God, y'all, I'm gonna be on time for y'all. But I want y'all to see this shit, dog. This shit right here, bro. This show you that niggas is crazy. If you know the ops watching or you done did some shit that you know you ain't supposed to do, man. And then the reason why I'm running this live because, you know, I'm in love with that hoe ass 10 millimeter. I'm in love with that 10 millimeter, and this motherfucker got something to do with the 10 millimeter, man. So, and a switch. Man, that's gotta be the most beautifulest gun ever. 10 millimeter Glock with a switch? Let me get y'all right real fast. Let me make sure this shit hooked up right. Okay. There we go. Let me get y'all right in here, man. Shout out to Rap Street News, man. Y'all go trip out off this story right here. I might show y'all another one too, though. Man, check this out right here, fool. Check this shit out, dog.
Man, y'all know what's going on, man. On the dead homies, don't count me in. Oh, count me in. Dead homies, nigga. On ACG. I'll be back real soon. I'm innocent. No criminal. Y'all know what's going on ACG.
Everybody said they gonna keep it solid when them detectives come through and got questions about a homie.
Bruh.
Some people sit up in that room and throw their homies up under the bus.
Yeah.
And end up putting themselves in a trick bag.
Yeah.
Dudes be looking the part, gang hats, face tats, and all that, until they go down with a 10mm Glock with a switch and a body on it that was used in the murder of Dylan.
Shout out to the whole California. Shout out to the Hoovers.
West Coast
Shout out to
Rolling
all the
Crips
Crips and the Bloods.
And this is where Midwest Active from 94 Hoover found itself a week after the skit on Century and Main, which we see is still playing itself out with the latest shooting up at the grand opening of Marathon Burger in Long Beach. Rap News Street Politics is the best hood channel on YouTube. Viewer discretion is advised. Everybody we talking about are innocent until proven guilty. These are just allegations set forth in the discovery and investigative reports by the police. The only fact is that individuals have lost their lives in the streets of LA. Now we gotta work the clock back from the situation that happened at Marathon Burger in Long Beach. We got an individual that seemed to be everywhere, Treyway 7, who was kissed by a bullet during the altercation between the Rollins and the people he was up there with at the grand opening of Marathon Burger. Now we seen it moving around with the babies. The Hussein connection was in full effect. And one could say this was a bold place for him to be after the situation that transpired with Mac 80 from West Coast 80 being murdered on August 26, 2025. Now, along with him getting touched in the head, another individual from West Coast 80s is said to have lost his life in this situation. But this isn't the only time that Treyway 7 has been in the spotlight in regards to this situation. Now, we gotta rewind the clock back to 2:30 p.m. on Fig in Manchester on the day of August 26, 2025.
Shout out to the whole Fig, you dig?
This is outside. Not only is Treyway 7 in attendance, DeAndre Pugh, aka Bombay, is there. Ayala Anderson, aka Thumper, is present. And William Chipmunk Irvin from A. Trey Hoover is outside with the members. Now, as video is showed, 3 individuals pull up on Fig in Manchester in a white sedan, jump out, and get cracking on the Hoovers, broad daylight, leaving 25 9mm shell casings and 1 live round on the scene before speeding off westbound on 85th, hitting 5 individuals in total. One of those individuals being William Chipmunk Irvin, who sustained a gunshot wound to his left temple with an exit out of the right temple. 1 single gunshot wound took his life over here on Manchester and Fig. Now, in that video, we also see Treyway 7, who was getting out the way when shots let off on Manchester and Fig. Now, Chipmunk was a loved member from A. Trey Hoover, and as everybody knows, the city was set on fire by this situation that happened. Now, 3 hours after this situation, the police are sitting back and cruising through the Hoovers when they hit Colden Avenue. We spoke about Colden numerous times, and after the death of Chipmunk, the Hoovers are hanging out. When police hit the block, it's multiple vehicles double parked. They pull up and hem up 7 individuals. Out of the 7, there's Lil Fo Active, Midwest Active Lil Homie, Dante Edmond, and DeAnthony Pounds. Out of the 7 individuals, they take down a dude named Fo Mad, who had a stick on him, but he's a juvenile, but they go ahead and get him out the way. And this is when, allegedly, Thumper, who was shot at with Chipmunk, Bombay, and Midwest Active, aka Fo Active, are now on Colden as well. Now, as night falls, around 11:30 p.m., the same day, August 26, 2025, Dylan Pressey, aka Mac 80, is on Century and Main in front of the liquor store. He has a female companion sitting in his car talking to another Hispanic, unaffiliated individual. Also next to him are 2 females sitting in a truck. Those 2 females, unaffiliated. And it's an old man in front of the liquor store sitting on his walker. 2 minutes prior to this, there's a white Kia Optima that made a U-turn on Main Street and hit west on Century before stopping at 105 West Century. The front passenger and 2 rear passengers jump out and start getting cracking with a 10mm Glock with a switch on it, a 380, and a 9mm.
Come on now,
hitting the unaffiliated Hispanic man twice in the leg, missing Mac 80's female companion sitting in his car, putting bullet holes in the truck that the 2 unaffiliated females were in, made the old man get up off the walker and get his ass up out of there.
West
but not
Side,
before
I knew
Mac
you was
80
gonna love this one, West Side,
sustained a gunshot wound to the head with an entrance to the left front head and an exit above the right ear, being pronounced dead on the scene. The 3 shooters are said to have got back into the Kia and slid west on Century. Now, when police got that call of this homicide on Century and Main, there was a simultaneous call of a carjacking on 90th and Orchard. This is right by Manchester Park in the 9 Deuce Hoovers. And with police already being hot on the Hoovers, they start to put their attention on the
West Side, that like them laws, like West Side, they get on y'all ass fast than a motherfucker. Like when y'all do something in y'all hood, like them laws be on that shit quick. Like say you just jack a car, man, they be on that shit. Then they got them hoe ass helicopters, man, they be on that shit fast than a motherfucker, cause they already know what a nigga trying to do. And 9 times out of 10, if he stole a car, nigga, man, y'all, you know the rest, man. Come on, man. You know the rest. Shit. Damn, what the fuck?
Figgy middies. Once these 2 calls come in, now they end up getting a description of the vehicle that was used in the murder of Mac 80, and it comes back as a Kia. Police are in the Hoovers trying to jump the gun and wait for them to come back after the slide. And this is when they see a white Benz and a red.
And then ain't this a bitch that the laws would? Ain't this a bitch that the laws would wait for y'all? These bitches know that these little niggas about to commit a crime, and I'm not trying to be no. I'm just saying what I'm seeing right here. The law know that they finna commit a crime, and they don't bust them before to save a life, nigga. They wait for you to go do the shit, nigga. Ain't that something? That shit weird, dog. Can I get a come on, dog?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? That shit kind of weird to me, dog. They watching y'all. They waiting for y'all to do this shit, dog. Like, this shit wild, dog. That's scary. Man, these little niggas better stop. For real.
Ram truck sliding erratically in the Hoovers. They start to follow these 2 vehicles until they end up on 84th and Vermont at a parking structure. Now, both of these 2 vehicles slide up in the parking structure, and while the police is trying to get up on them, 2 vehicles are coming out the parking structure at what they allege was a high rate of speed. One of them vehicles being a Kia, the other one being a Honda Accord.
They on them
so they
immediately
Kias, get on them 2 vehicles
sliding,
and take them down.
Kia.
Sitting in the rear right passenger side of that Honda is Treyway 7, along with them members, and everybody goes down. They say they got 4 suspects in custody linked to the murder of Mac 80. Now, while they trying to squeeze these dudes, they made a mistake. The Kia coming off 84th and Vermont is a light gray Kia K5. The Kia used in the murder on Century and Main is a white 4-door Kia Optima. Treyway 7, who we see is everywhere right now, is let go, mistaken identity. These dudes weren't at the scene. But one of them does end up going down for an unrelated shooting, and you see how the Hoovers is hot. Now, back at the scene of Mac 80, they glue together that carjacking call from 90th and Orchard as being another white Kia Optima. And then they get a phone call saying that it was found on 89th and Tupachi. 89th and Tupachi, the 9 foes. And the Kia was found because when it was carjacked on 90th and Orchard, the owner had left one of his cell phones in the car and was able to track it 4 hours after the shooting. Now, since they've glued together this carjacking being related to the shooting of Mac 80, you know they set the owner of that vehicle down in the room and asked him what happened. He turns out to be a DoorDash delivery driver who was set to deliver a Pizza Hut order on 90th and Orchard. He said when he got there, he met with a female who had ordered the pizza, and while she was getting her paper together to give him the money, 2 suspects jump out on him and push him to the ground. He said when he looked up, they started clutching on their waistband. He covered his eyes, and they skirted out of there with his car, being trailed by a black Chevy Cruze. Now, as you can see, it's a lot of cookie crumbs being left over. As soon as they got this information, they start tapping everywhere for surveillance cameras related to this carjacking and to the murder of Mac 80. They tapped the liquor store on Century and Main. They tapped that elementary school on 89th and Tupachi. And they were looking for surveillance cameras.
You know, I know. I've been, you know, I know inside. I've been watching.
But they were sitting on a gym because, like I said, the owner of the Kia had left the phone inside the Kia. So they extracted all the geolocation data from that cell phone as well, and were able to follow every path that the Kia took that night. But along with that, they also got the DoorDash information from the account that ordered the pizza. So when they got that phone number from the DoorDash account that ordered the pizza, they started looking for phone numbers. They noted that it was a text now number and had to wait for
I was just thinking something, dog. I was just thinking something. You know what's crazy? Work West Side, dog. You gotta be a motherfucking. This ain't this story, but I'm just saying. You got to be a crazy motherfucker to be a DoorDasher and be a gang member in California. You don't know who you gonna have to deliver a 4 for 4 to, or a McDonald's, no, a Big Mac, nigga. You might have to deliver a Big Mac to the ops. I guess gang members can't motherfucking me DoorDash, man. You gonna end up in the wrong neighborhood, hit the wrong.
For the subscriber information on that phone. But they did come back with a call log in regards to the communications that this phone number was having around the time of the carjacking and the murder. And 2 phone numbers were produced. One of them phone numbers, they got silly and slid it into Cash App, and it popped back as a relative to Lil Foactive, aka Dante Edmond, who had just been searched hours earlier with the members on code. The other phone number came back to Tiny Fotrit, aka Robert Remy, who's also from the Figgy Middies. So now that they had that, they looking at the surveillance camera from Century and Main, and not only do they see the white Kia, but they also see it being followed by a dark colored BMW. Now they got on this BMW because it made the same U-turn and was making the same movements as the white Kia.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Man, them laws down there is some bad motherfuckers, dog. Them hoes got on your, oh, you moving like this car? Oh, okay. Well, all right. We gonna follow both of y'all.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Them laws, boy. Hell, man. Hell.
Step by step. And they figured this was the scout or the tail car being used to assist with the homicide. Now, the next day, again, this murder occurred late night, 11:30 p.m. August 27, 2025, some of the surveillance videos start to trickle in from spots they've been hitting up all night. Now, since they were able to track the Kia the whole way because of the cell phone in it, the elementary school on Tupachi ain't have nothing, and they see the cell phone made a stop on 98th and Flower in front of another school, and they got surveillance from there.
But this is all because of surveillance, D-Mac. They not like, it's laws on them niggas, but they can't show themselves, of course. We talking about they watching the movement of the cars. Like, these bitches sit back and watch how the movement, you weaving in and out just like they weaving out. It kind of look like y'all following each other. You know, like similar to like when people racing on the highway and shit. You know how like them cars be racing on the highway and sometimes they can't be right next to each other, but they go to weaving in and out and you can see that they trying to be together. Man, them motherfucking laws, dog. I swear to God, that shit scary, y'all.
Another surveillance video on 90th and Orchard, where the carjacking took place. And from the camera footage on 90th, they see the Kia pull up, and they see the owner of the Kia jump out and talking to the female. Then on frame, they catch dudes sneaking around and riding off with the Kia, with the black Chevy Cruze in tow. Now the cell phone takes them to the next location. They took the Kia straight to Cody. 5 minutes later, they sitting in Cody, and police got the camera footage from Cody. They see one of the suspects jump out the Kia. Just like D-Mac say. I mean, just like West Side say. They see you, so they know what you into. They know the ones who got the drugs on them. They know the ones who got the heaters on them. They know the ones who sliding. You know, so they know who they going after. I mean, to y'all police officers, some of y'all members, gang members, is like trophies to them. Of course, of course. They know what they looking for on these nights, man. If they want to bust some drug dealers, they know the spots to go where niggas hustling and grinding. They want to see some prostitution, they know to go. And they know where niggas is banging it on a Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hell yeah. I was just thinking that shit too. The Kia and double back to it with another individual. That individual jumps in a blue SUV and they both slide east on Cody. Now, at this point, they track the Kia to 98th and Flower at that school, and they see them leave the Kia there. Now, surveillance video, 6 minutes before the murder of Mac 80, 11:24 p.m. They see a BMW slide southbound on Flower and west on 98, pass by the Kia, and unlock it with the key fob. They see it make a U-turn, and 4 niggas jump out the BMW and jump into the Kia, and the Kia and the BMW slide west on 98. But while that BMW hits 98th and Fig, it hits a license plate reader. and the BMW comes back to Tiny Fo Trip, who police say they're familiar with because they stopped him multiple times in the BMW. So now, not only do they have Tiny Fo Trip linked to the DoorDash number, as well as Lil Fo Active, they also have his BMW being next to the white Kia and at the scene of Mac 80's death. Now, while the police is putting all this shit together, they end up stumbling on a gem. Markel Ray, aka Midwest Active, from 9.
Hey, this is gonna hurt y'all heart right here, dog. This right here, D-Mac, this right here is like, man, dog, you can't do nothing. I mean, even if you had a GPS, you shouldn't be doing nothing anyway, though. You know what I'm saying?
On for who goes down in Inglewood with a 10mm Glock with a switch on it. And you know, as soon as they got that Glock, they went on ahead and tested it for ballistics. And it came back as a match for the same weapon used to kill Mac 80. Now that was on August 30th, 2025. He goes down. September 2nd, 2025, 2 days that he's been sitting in Twin Towers, he requests to talk to the detective.
Listen to this,
now, he jumps it off with saying he believes the weapon he was caught with was used in the murder of Mac 80. He said he obtained the 10mm Glock with the switch from Colden Avenue. And he began to break down everything that happened after the murder of Chipmunk. Now, mind you, he was with Chipmunk right before he was killed. So he was the individual that was clearly in the mix and on Colden, while he claims everybody was angry about Chipmunk's murder and wanted to get popping on the main streets. They felt like the main streets were responsible and wanted to press play on Main and Central. He said while everybody was plotting on the get back, they was leaving him out of it because he had a physical disability. He said they called him crippled, which made him upset. Now, I don't know what that disability is, but it was noted that he did see medical for some type of disability that he has. Now, he said when they was plotting on the car to take over to Century and Main, he said his little homie, Lil Fo Active, spoke up and said that shit already taken care of. Pizza Hut on the way. And this is when Midwest Active says he went to 90th and Orchard with Lil Fo Active and his girlfriend Tiana Lincombe. And he stated that Tiana Lincombe is the one that ordered the pizza from her DoorDash account, and she drives a black Chevy Cruze. And he stated that the vehicle that was stolen was a Kia, but he backed up off the situation and said the individual that stole the Kia was already on 90th and Orchard, and it wasn't him. Now, we said after the Kia was stolen, they went back to Colden with Thumper and Bombay being present. Mind you, both of them dudes were at the scene when Chipmunk was killed. And this is when Midwest Active claims that he grabbed Bombay, pulled him to the side and told him, "You got an ankle monitor on. I don't think it's a good idea for you to slide." And he said he was dismissed. And this is when he accounts that Tiny Fo Trip, aka Robert Grimmy, pulls up in his BMW, and Bombay, Thumper, and Lil Fo Active go on the mission. Now, he claims he couldn't definitively say if anybody other than Tiny Fo Trip was in the BMW, but he said he believes his girlfriend, Zawina Washington, was in the BMW as well. Now, police tried to somewhat corroborate his story by notating that Zawina Washington was previously in the BMW the times when Tiny Fo Trip was stopped in. But Midwest Active wasn't done. He stated that when they left Colden, he stayed on Colden and provided the police with his Instagram account and his phone to prove his location. He said when they got back, Thumper spoke about using a 10mm, Lil Fo Active had the 9, and Bombay spoke about the 3.8. He said they had difficulty finding their way back to Colden. And he said eventually he slid off Colden with Lil D-Mac. And this is when he put himself in a trick bag. So when police start going through his Instagram account, of course they see the pictures of him, Bombay, and Chipmunk. But they notice that Midwest Active also has an ankle monitor on. Now, what he tried to do was do a little throw off. His ankle monitor wasn't from probation or parole. It was from a bail bondsman. So he thought they weren't going to be able to put that piece together. Man. Police called probation or parole. They say that's not one of ours. And they ended up getting in contact with the GPS monitoring company and subpoenaed all his locations on the night of the murder. Now, he ended up getting out from the situation where he's caught with this Glock in Inglewood, and he's back on the streets. But he's just giving police everything they need to sew up his homies and himself. When his location data comes back on his ankle monitor, it shows him on Colden like he said he was. Then it shows him on 90th and Orchard at the carjacking like he said he was. But he left out the fact that he was in the BMW on 98th and Flower. Since they had the video footage, his GPS shows 98th and Flower, and at that location it shows the Kia and the BMW. Then it goes on to show him at 105 West Century during the murder. After that, it shows it on 89th and Tupache where the Kia was dropped off at. And in his final act, it shows him at a gas station where a black Chevy Cruze is, with Tiana Lincombe getting out of it at 8514 South Hoop after the homicide. It shows Lil Fo Active taking the wheel, and police allege that he is a passenger in that black Chevy Cruze. And furthermore, realize that he is at all scenes relevant to the murder of Mac 80 from West Coast 80s. Now, even though he snitched on Bombay, they still had to glue him together. Again, Midwest Active told the police Bombay had an ankle monitor as well. They went on ahead and got his geolocations and glued him to the scene. They already had Tiny Fo Trip glued to the scene, but used his cell phone number to track his locations and realized he was at every spot relevant to the homicide. And with the help of Midwest Active, everything crashed down on these dudes October 23rd, 2025. Bombay goes down for murder and attempted murder. Tiny Fo Trip goes down for murder, attempted murder, and felon in possession.
Come on now,
Midwest
dog.
Active, the only one to go down
Come
for everything.
on, man.
The murder, attempted murder, felon in possession, and carjacking. His little homie, Lil Fo Active, goes down for carjacking, and his girlfriend goes down for carjacking for being the one that set up the move over DoorDash. Now, police still had to take prints off the Kia. When they did so, they found one print on the stolen Kia, and that matched the print of D'Anthony Pound,
The youngster,
who was
man.
also with Lil Fo Active 3 hours after the murder of Chipmunk when they shook down everybody on Kodak. He goes down for carjacking. Now, when Midwest Active goes down, in his spot, they also found a 223 and on the side a mag with some 40 cal rounds in it on some dumb shit. And along with him, Lil Fo Active's girlfriend decides to make a statement when they show her a picture of her black Chevy Cruze at a gas station after the murder. She states she previously owned a black Chevy Cruze and admitted her involvement in ordering the pizza. She said Lil Fo Active was with her when they did the carjacking, but Lil Fo Active, his statement was that he was in Arizona at the time of the carjacking. And of course, when they got Midwest Active back in the room, he said he didn't do no shooting or drive a car. Now, Tiny Fo Trip, who was stopped again in the BMW after the murder, he goes down, punches a wall in his cell, and ends up fracturing his hand. But he seemingly kept a solid. Him and Bombay lawyered up instantly. Now, Bombay, this is his second murder charge. He had another one in 2022 that was beat. And while everybody had physically went down off the street October 23rd, he was already sitting in Twin Towers on an unrelated robbery charge. They pulled him out, took him to 77th, and said they wanted to use his interview as visual stimulation for when they...
Let me get it. Come on now, dog.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I just want to use your interview as visual stimulation. What? Man, hell nah.
When they took down everybody else in the case to get them to start talking. But this is what fueled the fire, which led to Treyway 7 catching a graze wound to the head at Marathon Burger in Long Beach. As we see, Mac 80 was a Love member over there. He was tried as an adult in an attempted homicide back in 2015 in Long Beach. But this wasn't his first time on the news. We seen him on the news doing the dash in the Benz on the rim. You know, he was active in these streets. They said that he had good ties with the main streets. But the thing is, there seemingly was nobody from Main Street outside. And at one point in time, he stayed just blocks up from where he got killed at in the Hoovers. But this is bad work on Midwest Active Park. But again, these are just allegations set forth by police discovery and investigations. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but this is what they allege transpired.
My nigga, dog. Come on now, dog. Hey, bro. Dog, them lows was watching West Side, bro. Them hoes was watching a nigga like, them hoes was watching like, boy, them hoes was watching them niggas traffic movement, nigga. If you swerve right, he swerve right, y'all together, nigga. Damn. Hey, this is a crazy story. But it ain't over yet, though. It's not over. You see the sign right there, right? You see that sign, right? And I'm not trying to get into no gang politics. I'm not starting no shit. I'm just reacting. This is a reaction video. I don't even want no money out this West Side. No, I'm not even in. I know my place when it comes to these politics and shit, dog. But I want y'all to see this though. These little niggas are bold. Niggas don't buy shit, nigga. Young niggas don't buy shit, man. Watch. It gets, watch this. Just watch.
Fire. When the Hoovers press play in the main streets for Get Back for Chipmunk, August 26, 2025. Now, for everybody that want to know what happened with Tifo the Loc,
is this the video?
On 113th and Main,
but hold on, this
sure
can't be the right video, boo. This is not the right video, dog. This can't be the right video. I think I showed y'all the wrong video, dog. On my mama. This can't be, fool. Man, dog, they must have made that nigga take that bitch down too. Dog, I could have swore this was the right video, dog. Dog, my nigga. Well, I'm gonna show y'all something else though. Watch this. Y'all gonna like this one too.
About the payout. The key thing is y'all gotta understand, nobody on the back end market is paying.
Watch this.
Rap News Street Politics, the best hood channel on YouTube. Back with the flock teams and rivalry crews from some of the most notable hoods out here in the city of LA. Man. We had to run it back and re-drop this for y'all. You know, the snitches hit us up on the last upload. Got it stripped off YouTube.
They been hit that nigga.
We hit 140,000 views on the last upload of this. Y'all make sure y'all run it back up.
Watch
now
this.
This is the third installment of the mini docu-series we doing on these crews. That's doing it up in the city. The first two videos, we bought you a front row seat to the Harlem 30s stripping a jeweler of a $500,000 watch in Beverly Hills.
These niggas
we
get that
doubled
money.
Back to Beverly Hills with the East Side babies coming out of Long Beach in connection with the Park Village Compton Crips. Tapping a jewelry store, hitting for $2.6 million. With both of them crews going down in less than a month.
Suspect.
Now we about to peel the curtain back with the Crenshaw and Manchester Gangsta Bloods coming out the city of Inglewood on a multi-million-dollar operation that got the ATF an award when they was done putting the pieces together on the Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods and a bunch of different hoods that they recruited to get popping inside jewelry stores throughout LA County, Orange County, and Riverside County. Now, like we said in the last video, we gonna keep up in the ante. These dudes had a multi-year run. And like I said, multi-million-dollar run at that. But we gonna bring y'all as close as possible to these dudes not only running a full-fledged organization, but them also setting each other up, some people doing a whole lot of snitching, and we got an individual that has escaped federal custody June of 2025 and has still not been apprehended, out here ducking his federal sentence imposed on a group called the Time Bandits. Now, you know we gotta hit y'all with the disclaimer. We do not condone the act of any criminal activity or violence on Rap News Street Politics. This is just for education and entertainment only. But we're gonna go through their steps, they
Freedom boys,
and
man.
watch how they got down. Bring it home what the feds say is $6 million over the course of 2 years.
These niggas ain't playing no games, man.
This is how to rob, hypothetically, with the best hood channel on YouTube.
Inglewood, Fanny Swan, to that from Warviness, CS to JS, Westside BPS, Crenshaw, Mafia Lane, and the Smeller Gang. How the fuck you from the tough? You ain't never heard of my name.
You ain't taking at the park, we don't hang with Marks. Brody got kicked out the whip cause he ain't played his part.
Now, when I say team, you know, in the last couple videos, we had somewhat of some crews. 3, maybe 5 dudes jumping out, doing their thing. And like I said, all the dudes went down instantaneously based on the evidence and how they sold themselves up at the scene. Now, what differentiates these dudes from being a crew is the sheer size and organization that the Inglewood families put together on this move. But the IFGs did not come alone. They also employed dudes from Inglewood Neighborhood Paru, Inglewood Avenue Paru, Eastside Carver Park Compton Crip, The Hoovers is around this. Dudes from Eastside Bounty Hunter Watts and the A-Trays was also spoke about in the paperwork. But this was a classic case of some older homies pulling strings at the top and getting young niggas to do their bids for them. So we gotta start with the main dude, a member of CMT, Keith Green Eyes Walton, coming out of Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods. Now, G.I.
Bro, this nigga was a baseball player, bro. A professional baseball player. But a gang member, nigga. One of them members, nigga. Top tier, nigga. Fuck you mean, nigga. Nigga played baseball, dawg. Professional baseball, top tier in the 90s, nigga. Nigga.
Eyes played the role of a planner and a recruiter. Past credentials, the feds allege he's a career criminal, and at the time of this run, he spent half of it in federal custody, and when he got out the feds, he participated and turned the shit all the way up, pressing play on these robberies, putting the pieces together. His right-hand man, another top dude in the organization, we got Daryl Dent, who played the role of a planner, recruiter, a scout, and he was the watch connect that dealt closely with the buyer. And he's the one that brought the team aspect to the situation. Daryl Dent is an ex-MLB player who played for the Orioles as well as other teams. But the flocking was always in his trajectory because he was kicked off the Orioles for stealing the teammate's Rolex and writing the teammate
Hold on, I'm gonna let y'all hear the rest.
Checks in his names and cashing them. So he was made.
This nigga was sinister in the league. Stole one of the baseball player Rolexes. Nigga stole they checks, nigga. Cashed them in his name.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Solo, hood, what's up, what's good, neighborhood?
Made for this from the jump. The next dude we got at the top is the dude from Inglewood neighborhood Pyru, Stanley Baldy Ford. Bald head, the oldest member of the crew, sitting at 47 at the time of these robberies. He served as a planner, a scout, but he was the final getaway car driver on these moves, and he also served as a point man, calling the green light when everything was a go for them dudes to run up in the store. Stanley also brought some impressive credentials to the play as well. He was on federal supervised release for armed bank robbery. So these was the three dudes at the top, pulling strings, making sure everything was planned out properly. Now they had somewhat of a starting five of young homies underneath them. Number one, Tiny Bogey, Robert Johnson from Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods. He served as somewhat as an on-site manager, planner, recruiter, scout, and the weapons connect. Now Tiny Bogey's credentials could, some people may say, exceed the others. He was arrested previously 5 different times for separate homicides and attempt.
Just by their recruiting, you know that shit was planned and strategized the way it's supposed to be. Like, ain't no just no sloppy ass activity going on, dawg. Like, that's, yeah.
Attempted murders alleged against him in the past. His first one being when he was 16 for a murder of a female in Inglewood. But check this, his father is an ex-cop and he's brought his talents to Operation Shatter Glass. Next up, we got Jameson LaForce, aka Janky or J-Bone, 7-7 Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods. Now, this is the first individual that we gonna speak on who was a torpedo, the runner, one of the dudes that jumped into the store and got cracking, but this is the jack of all trades. Not only was he a runner, recruiter, he was a driver, a scout, and a planner at 24
Shout out to
years
Columbus,
old.
Ohio, man.
And everything in this organization. Next up, they had some crippin' on their team as well.
God damn
Evan
it.
E. Mac Scott, Eastside Carver Park, Compton. He was also a torpedo, but his main role was the gun.
We ain't doing no discrimination, nigga. Everybody can get paid, man.
Man, he had the stick and played guard control because of his size, so he was always laying some shit down in the spot. He also was a scout, 27 years old at the time, and he was on parole at this time for robbery. Now we about to go in depth about exactly the role that EMAC played, but this is the individual that the Bureau of Prisons alleges escaped federal custody June 2025 and is currently on the run. Now, coming up after him is potentially one of the top recruiters. He brought some Hoovers to the play and a lot of different other dudes from the neighborhood on these skits. We got Justin J. Stone Henny, Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods, torpedo, recruiter, scout at 27 years old. And last but not least, we got Dominic Calloway, aka Bones, coming out of Compton, he was also a torpedo. 26 years old, heavily involved in these moves. Now, it's a lot of dudes that came off the bench from Inglewood families and other hoods throughout the city. We're going to speak on them dudes as they come up, but we got to put our focus back at the top with how this whole situation got started. And it starts with Daryl Dent and GIs from CMT. Them dudes had prior history before they put this team together. They met at a funeral wake in around 2011. Mind you, Daryl has already squandered his opportunities in the MLB. He fell into a life of crime. He's back in Inglewood hanging out with them members. And from November 2012 to May 13th, these two dudes break into 25 phone stores around the LA area, jumping through air vents.
Hey, watch these. Hey, these niggas is not playing, man. Can I get a couple?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
By any means, dog. Niggas not gonna be broke, bro. I'm telling you, dog.
Vincent holes that they made in the wall, making off and getting popping on the commercial burglary scene. These dudes end up going down. GI serving time. Daryl Dent getting probation. Now they link back up while GIs is still sitting down in 2014, and they think they got it all figured out and start assembling the teams based on what Daryl Dent got going on outside. He starts with what he calls track star robberies. So the track star robbery is where somebody goes into a jewelry store, tries on some jewelry, and runs out. And this is where Daryl finds himself early 2014 with an individual named Concrete from Hoover. And he got a couple dudes coming off the bench named DeAndre Johnson and Javon Walker. Their first track star robbery was in Century City at a store named Torno. Now, these moves didn't take a lot of planning. This was the early developmental stages of their organization. But Dent in the car with DeAndre, Concrete in the car with Javon. They send Javon Walker inside. He tries on a gold Rolex Daytona, runs out. These dudes come off with 8 racks. Now, of course, 8 racks, 4 people, they all get $2K each. Now, this is something that we've seen in the comments that many people have talked about the payout. The key thing is y'all got to understand, nobody on the back end market is paying retail price for any stolen goods. If they was going to pay retail, they would go to the retail store. So that's just how it is. It's a lot of work that goes into getting items off on the back end. For jewelry with gold, whether that means melting the gold down. Diamonds is, of course, a lot different. With situations like phones, you got to make sure the phone is not carrier locked. It's a lot of steps that not only the flockers, but the buyers have to go through to get it prepped to sell it to somebody who wants to get it. This is why these dudes will come up with a Rolex worth 20, 30, 40,000 and only make 8 racks off it. So with that being said, you know these dudes were unsatisfied. This is when Daryl starts leaning on GIs as to what he should do to up his take from these moves. Now, while they planning, they still doing these track star robberies. Multiple bench players is being interchanged as runners. DeAndre goes down for a period of time. Dent Concrete is doing it. And they bring in a little homie from Inglewood family named Kenneth Paul, aka Brown Eyes or Lil KO. And he starts getting his hands dirty. But on August 3rd, 2014, this is when the first organized smash and grab robbery goes down at Prestige Jewelers in Manhattan Beach. So, of course, like every move, all of y'all should know, and what people should be doing before they do this, is they walk through. So Daryl Dent and DeAndre Johnson do a walkthrough of Prestige Jewelers before the move. Now, the walkthrough is to see exit plan, check security, and if you can get close enough, check inventory, which is most important. You don't want to be on a play and come back with some bullshit that you can't get off. So they do that, and they bring in the jack of all trades, J-Bone from Inglewood Families. He comes up with another bench warmer named Spook, and he wants to put eyes on it himself. It said that J-Bone is a self-thinker. He needs to put his shit together in his own way, rightfully so. So he goes on a scout mission with Spook, make sure everything is fitting before they run up in.
You gotta put the right niggas in position like Jordan, nigga, like you know, like you got like not like Jordan, but you gotta put the right niggas in position, nigga, like Phil Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Cause if you don't, the shit ain't gonna work out right, man.
Up in this spot. Now, there was a couple places throughout Inglewood that these dudes would continuously meet at, one of which being Animo Inglewood, the high school, another one 8431 Crenshaw Boulevard, which was Daryl Dent's house, and Spook's crib off 78th. And throughout these meetings, certain things were getting appointed. So this is where everybody's role was getting appointed to them, whether they was going to be a driver, running up in the store. Daryl Dent's role was already played out. Again, he's an older dude. He wasn't going in the store. He's strictly waiting for the package to come back to him to sell the watches to the buyer. Now, at this time, they would also buy materials. On every play, for the most part, they were buying new gloves,
Salute
new
to all
masks,
gang
new
members.
sledgehammers, new everything for the runners to use going up into the store. So all that shit was passed out, and it was decided that J-Bone and Spook were going to lead the charge into the spot. Javon Walker being the getaway driver in the stolen vehicle, and Concrete was going to be in the switch car. So a lot of the times they would use 2 to 3 vehicles, one stolen vehicle to get the runners into the location and in and out of the location. Once they got out of the location, they would take the merchandise, put it in one car, and the runners will go into a separate getaway car.
Strategic, man. Strategic. No bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Woo, woo, woo. And that's the way it's supposed to go, my nigga. Yap, 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 yap. Nigga, that car so hot, nigga, but we ain't even in that, nigga. We already at the hideout, nigga. With the rollies and shit, man. But, you know, every good thing always come with a bad thing, man, you know?
Very organized play, very well thought out, and this is how they were able to sustain a run that they did. So it jumps off August 3rd, 2014. J-Bone runs inside. The female employee that was on the floor that day said she felt like J-Bone was about to crack her in the head with a sledgehammer when he came in. And they got cracking on the display cases. Now, after the robbery, a security guard that followed them in the stolen car, they ditched the car in the middle of the road, left behind the mask and the gloves inside the vehicle, and J-Bone also left his left glove.
Woo! Did I tell y'all that quick? Man, I'm enjoying. We high-fiving. I'm high-fiving all y'all in the chat, bro. These niggas did the wrong fucking thing. What the fuck are you taking your gloves and your mask off? Period, for? For what? And so to be able to leave it anywhere. Westside, come on, man. Come on, dog.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
What are we doing, dog? It's DNA on that as soon as you put it on your face, your head, your hands, dog. Come on, man.
And his mask at the scene. Now, when they got back to 78th, you know, they got to separate the glass from the jewelry. The take ended up being $250,000, a long shot away from that lonely Daytona Rolex on them track star robberies. These dudes hit big. But you know there's always two parts of a play. It's cops and robbers. While they count up the loot, the cops are collecting that evidence left over at the scene. And of course, you know, it goes into processing. Now, overall, they got 19 used Rolexes and 11 rings. And it was time to implement Daryl Dent and the buyer, an individual named Tony Gold. Now, some game on a buyer like this, you have to have rapport with your buyers. Nobody's coming up, meeting you and giving you a bunch of racks without making sure y'all business dealing is going to be solid.
Yes.
Over the years, Daryl had been dealing with Tony Gold for all his little activities he was participating in. This is how you have a buyer not only willing to meet you somewhere, but bring the right amount of cash. Everything just goes smooth when you have a trusted buyer. Tony Gold is that. So everybody's scared of getting gypped. Nobody wants to lose out on their money. So Daryl Dent calls an individual named Charles Mays, who has a cargo van, and everybody piles up in it, goes to West Hollywood. The merchandise reaches Tony Gold, and the money comes back. J-Bone and Spook make 5 bands each for running into the store. Daryl Dent, Concrete, Javon Walker, and DeAndre Johnson each get 3 racks each. So if there was no funny business on the back end, if nobody was keistering funds, they made 22 racks off a $250,000 haul, which I would say is a bad return on the investment.
Bad.
But sometimes
That's bad, dog. But we need it, dog. Something is better than nothing, dog. But goddamn, bro. That was like, dog, that was a lot of rollies, fool. That nigga said, like, how many rollies? He said, like, 20 rollies? Man, dog, god damn, them hoes was at least 15, 20 bands a piece. Man.
That shit.
The game does go like this. That's just what it is. Now, everything seems to quiet down after this. This was a big move for these dudes. This is their first official play. After pulling some shit together like this, everybody got a little bit of money in their pocket. I'm sure they started to assess the risk and they chilled out for a little bit. Going into the mindset of doing these plays and shit, everything is moving so fast and everything is cool, especially when you got your money. But after a period of time, that adrenaline wears off and you start going through different things about if and where you messed up. It's a lot that goes on in the lifestyle of criminality. Not everything is easily digested. Even for career criminals or hardened criminals, you always got to assess your risk. Not saying that's what these dudes did, but they took a break and resurfaced exactly 1 year later to the date, August 3rd, 2015. They're in Canoga Park at Edward George Jewelers. Now, prior to this, Daryl Dent was scoping this place out. He took trips up to Canoga Park to assess the inventory as well as the guards. But this time, some of them starters was in the mix of this as well. Justin J. Stone Henny and Dominic Bones Calloway from Compton are now inserted into this move. This was before Emac from Carver hit the scene. So at the meeting, it was decided that Dominic Calloway was gonna be the one to run up in the store and play guard control. And he was gonna be accompanied by Justin Henning popping into Edward George Jewelers. They also had a random dude on this play who the paperwork referred to by the name of Johnny. He's one of many unindicted co-conspirators on these moves. But August 3rd, 2015, they put the play in motion and they seemingly had some growing pains with this one. Not as big as their last one, new players involved, but it still goes off without a hitch. Dominic Calloway jumps inside, puts a whole bottle of pepper spray onto the employee inside of Edward George. The employee's crawling around and they start breaking glass. On this one, they hit for 60 racks in engagement rings and watches. And similar to J-Bone on the last move, Bones Calloway dropped his blood on the scene when smashing the glass. So now we got some more cookie crumbs being left on the trail. This is just the beginning, but as we know, this usually turns out to be the beginning of the end.
Yeah,
but like the last one, they go back, count they shit, clockwork with Tony Gold. While they working, police collected this blood sample from the smashed glass. Now again, in the same month, August 15, right after this move, they had some opportunist shit going on. They robbed somebody in the Century City Mall in Century City for their Rolex. Just some small time shit, but they went to a third play in the same month, which takes us to August 24th, 2015, Gary's Rolex Boutique in the Century City Mall. Now this is where Green Eyes, still sitting in the feds at this time, is really starting to point at the play. It said that he suggested this location and they started to put their eyes on it. Now, it said that they were onto this location due to the quality of inventory and the quantity of the inventory all the way back in 2013.
See, what y'all gotta understand is that some of them Rolexes are high-low. Like it's still a real Rolex, but it's not like them 1990 ones. You know what I'm saying? It's not like them. A lot of these places you can repolish the Rolex and make it look new from 1990. The gold is worth a whole lot more. My nigga, and it costs way more. And it don't even got diamonds. It could be worth 50,000, just one watch. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he told them to go to this place. You know what I'm saying?
13. When Daryl Dent GIs was busting into the phone stores. But they really started focusing on it July 2015, right before the Canoga Park robbery. And this is where some more familiar faces start to pop out. Daryl Dent is in communication with Tiny Bogey, and he requests Jay Stone, Justin Henning, and Dominic Bones Calloway again. Mind you, them dudes was just on the play 3 weeks earlier. But not only does Justin Henning come with Bones Calloway, Tiny Bogey brings in an individual named Marshawn Marshall, another bench warmer who goes by the name of Junior Manchester from Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods. One of their young homies, he was 18 at the time. Now, these dudes are sitting back and everybody's going through their credentials. Calloway spoke about another robbery that they tried to commit before the Edward George robbery in Canoga Park, where they spoke about himself, another individual from A-Track Gangsta, who I'm not gonna name because he's unindicted, and the move was unsuccessful, and another member from Inglewood Family named Jeremy Widget Tillett, who went inside with Calloway. They said they got spooked and they ran out. And this is what led Calloway to being a part of the Canoga Park robbery because he missed. Now, to scout the location out, Junior Manchester, Bones Calloway, and they had another individual on this play now named Pac-Man. They scout the location out, and Pac-Man takes Daryl Dent back to the location to look at it again, and they speak about dudes from BPS and what route that they plan to take. So BPS dudes was plotting on this situation as well. And
Hey,
Daryl
look,
decided to take...
Listen, man, a lot of piece of the gangs wanted in on that action because, bro, come on now. It looked like they getting away. And they doing it on some movie shit, dog. Like, as long as we doing it like that, dog, it feel like we can get away, bro. Come on, bro. We going in there smashing the counter, pepper spray the security guard and the clerks, bro. Bam, bam, bam. Grab what we can grab. Get the fuck out of there. Not even in the cars that we came in. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna work, dog. Long as y'all can get to them security don't pop y'all ass, man, you gonna slide. So other gangs wanna get in on that shit. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Take a page out of the Black P Stones book and adopted their exit plan. And this is when another top dude comes on the scene, Stanley Baldy Ford, Inglewood neighborhood Pyru, and he's in charge of getting a weapon to handle the guard. So in all, we got Daryl Dent, Bones Calloway, Concrete again from Hoover, Tiny Bogey, Baldy, and Junior Manchester present at the meet. Now, Bones Calloway also brings a rifle to the party for good measure. The stolen vehicle of choice on this move, Toyota Camry that Tiny Bogey and Concrete had lifted off the street right before the move, and they pressed play. So on the day of August 24th, 2015, security guard Damian Dupree, standing at 6'3", is sitting inside of Gary's Rolex boutique in Century City. When he yells, "They coming, they coming," and he tries to lock the door on these dudes. And this is when a shot is let off. These dudes bust through the door and shoot one of the glass displays. Now, Calloway is inside, Henning is inside, Marshall is driving the stolen car, Concrete in the secondary car, and Stanley Ford in the final getaway car, with everybody else sitting back waiting for the play to go green.
I'm sorry, fool. Hey, I'm sorry, dog. That nigga was like, nigga, they coming, dog. Cause the shit big, dog. Come on now. You don't think they have meetings about this shit, watching like jewelry stores like this shit happen like around the regions? And even though it's in another like little city, they still think that people do that. Go to the other cities where they not from and bang their ass up and come back, nigga, to the hood, bust it down. That nigga say they coming. This man, that white man, crying like a motherfucker. They coming, they coming, they coming.
Come on now, dog. Come on,
ain't gonna
man.
secure shit with all them niggas coming that bitch. With all them members come up in that bitch on your whole ass.
Green. They're in and out in less than 2 minutes, and they hit for 40 watches in total, totaling 1.6 million on their second big take.
40 watches. This is why the nigga told them to go there, bro. Because of the quality, dog. You know, you got elegant jewelry. You know, you got TV Johnny. TV Johnny is cool. The shit in the front. But the shit in the back that you don't see, where Sauce walking them be at and shit, that's the shit, dog. Like he taking them to where them Rolex is, where them hoes are solid. Them hoes gonna be worth 60 with no stones. Bro, they got 40 rollies out that bitch, my nigga. Come on, man.
In they organized plan. Now they ditched the Camry about 70 yards from the robbery, left it with the doors open and it's still running. And inside the vehicle,
Hey, you goddamn right I left that bitch running, but I left that bitch running with the nigga, we know what. Hey, see, this the thing, dog. This the thing. See, we already got a buyer. So it's like, it's for show money. All we gotta do is do the shit. That's it. Whatever we get away with, long as it's real and elegant, nigga, the buyer gonna buy it. But it's wedding rings, but they going after them rollies, man. They going after them rollies, dog. I believe that around here, a lot of them rollies that these rappers got are stolen from motherfucking, what's the name? They just resold, you know, by some certain jeweler. Hey, man, it's crazy work, dog.
vehicle, they left a ski mask and a Century City Mall parking lot ticket. And again, they take these items into evidence. Now, a worker from the store recounted an event 6 days earlier where he identified a man from a photo lineup as being Dominic Bones Calloway, who came in asking about watches. Now, remember on the last move, August 3rd, Calloway dropped his blood at the Edward George Jewelers in Canoga Park. And it turns out that the mask that they left in the Camry also had a DNA match to Calloway. So you know them people wanted to talk to him. Now, Baldy from NHP calls Dent after they make the final drop, and he says everything was green. They meet again in West Hollywood to take the inventory to Tony Gold, but this time they...
Bro, them niggas was so happy, dawg. They was so happy, dawg, because they knew this was a good one. That them niggas just threw their shit out, dawg, in the car. Just was like, we leaving this bitch running and everything, dawg. Dawg, let's get to the payment.
Come on now, dog.
For real.
Come on, man.
They went in the underground parking garage to try to throw off GPS. Now, I don't know about that one. I wouldn't trust it. I don't think it works. But those were the precautions that they were trying to take in this situation. They said they had been watching the news and saw some people getting caught because of the trackers. Like we said in the last video, them trackers usually be in that soft cushion in the watch that's on display underneath the watch face. So they tossed all of them cushions out and of course kept the watches. Now this is when it came time to split the bread up. The whole take off of 1.6 million, they cashed out with $310,000 August 24th, 2015.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, now we talking, dog. You see what I'm saying? Now we talking, dog. See, this the thing about me, though, dog. Nobody getting unalive, dog. And we ain't hurt nobody we know. You know what I'm saying? We ain't hurt nobody we know, nigga. My nigga, so, man, I'm in, nigga.
Come on now, dog.
15
Come
off
on,
40
man.
watches. Now Dent, again, he sits back, older homie. He waits for the phone call to catch the buyer. He takes 130 racks. Paid Junior Manchester and Baldy 15 racks each. Checks himself into the Lowe's Hotel. Starts taking pictures with the money. Another individual who went inside named Deb. He makes off with 50 racks. Dominic Calloway makes off with 50 racks. Secondary driver Concrete, 15 racks. Tiny Bogey gets 65,000. Shoots a dub to J Stone and spends some money on a motorcycle and a bond he had to pay off. Now, J Stone was worried about Dominic Calloway because again, Calloway keeps going inside on these moves, so they had to make sure he was paid properly. Daryl Dent, once he checks into the Lowe's Hotel, he buys a Kia powder, starts busting it down, and he hightails it to the Mayweather.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
That nigga was like, man, this shit ain't gonna last long. I gotta get something to flip, man, because I know some type of way y'all gonna mess this shit up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go buy me a brick at the, give me a chicken and get my shit going. Yeah.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Y'all. Weather and Andre Berto fight and moves his ass to Anaheim. These niggas was high sight. Now the jack of all trades, J-Bone, was in New York at the time, I believe headed to Haiti. He called Dent and said the hood was talking about they move. He was looking for a little chili on the back end. Dent sent them $500 for his travels, and Concrete was feeling the type of way about his cut. Mind you, he was a secondary driver, only made 15 racks off of these dudes hitting for upwards of 300,000. So he feeling the type of way, and Green Eyes instructs these dudes to give some money to his wife to take care of him while he's sitting down in the feds. Everything's lovely right now. And less than a month later, here we are, October 18th, 2015, at Frederick H. Rubble in Mission Viejo. And this proved to be a pivotal point in this whole operation. Now, this same location they hit about 6 months prior with a track star robbery. Green Eyes was involved in that, so this is why they were familiar with this location and figured out that they can run it up again in this spot. Now, Concrete, feeling funny about the money from the last move, he removed himself and his ass quickly got back into the fold when they planned this robbery in Mission Viejo, and he's ready to go. And it starts off with Tiny Bogey and Dent riding up on their new motorcycles to scout Mission Viejo out. You know they feeling good. They checking everything, and Charles Mays and Baldy also take a trip to scout everything as well. And this is where they pick the parking structure to be their place of exit on this move. Now again, them starters is on play. Tiny Bogey and J Stone are back recruiting people. And this is when they come up with Devin Snoop Howard, another player off the bench. Inglewood family, 18 years old, the young homie. He's the runner. Stanley Baldy Ford, the point man. Again, the dude that looks out, makes sure the coast is clear, and calls the green light when it's time to press play, and these dudes jump inside. They got Junior Manchester back on it. He's also going into the store with Snoop Howard. And Concrete was appointed as the final car driver to take over the backpack after the play. Again, like I said, when the play was done, jumping out of the stolen car, the backpack goes one way, the players go the other way, and it goes down. They pop up in the store, again, another big take, 40 Rolexes and some assorted jewelry worth about $600,000, and they out of there. But this time, Junior Manchester ended up holding on to the bag and not sliding into that final getaway car, and they get the move. Now, while they escaping from the scene in a Chevy Tahoe, the stolen vehicle, a police officer involved in the situation calls an individual by the name of Ryan Stearman, a special agent with the ATF. 34 years old at the time, he's leaving an undercover job in Orange County already. His phone rang. They say it's a 211 that just went down in nearby Mission Viejo, and they said the getaway car is heading north on the 405. He hit his lights and he's on his way. Now back to Concrete and Junior Manchester. Concrete called JM and tells him he saw some vehicles that he felt were suspicious. He said he seen some cars about 20-30 minutes earlier, and he just ran into the same cars. So he tells JM to throw some of the watches out the window because he believes there's a tracker on them. And JM throws hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of watches out onto the 405 freeway. And guess who's...
man. You know, like, remember when he said earlier in the story, he said, like, when you breaking in them phone places, when you get to the back and you get in the safe and you get all the phones, the new phones, he said most of the time, they put a phone with a tracker in there, so you would just mix it up with all the phones when you grabbing them and do it. So they also saying they do that shit with jewelry too now. So come on now, dog. Come on, man. Tracker, he told them throw them hoes out. We talking about Rolexes, man.
Who's there to pick him up? ATF Special Agent Ryan Stearman. He recovers 26 Swiss watches scattered along the shoulder, surrounded by glass and broken taillights. But nobody was caught at the scene. Now, these dudes still made a little bit of money for this. Everybody came off with about $3,000 each. Like I said, hundreds of thousands of dollars was left on the table.
You probably got DP'd the fuck out. Man, that ain't my business to say that, but I gotta say this, dog. Respectfully, dog, to all the members. Y'all know I ain't no gang member. Hey, he probably got DP'd the shit out of him, bitch. Bitch, when I say the bag go one way, the player goes the other one, nigga. That's what happens, you little nigga. You see what I'm saying? One wrong move can fuck everything out for a nigga getting a payment, dog. Follow the rules and guidelines, dog. You know what I'm saying, dog? That's the type of nigga I would slap the shit out. As soon as that was over with, bro, I probably would have chastised the shit out of that little nigga, dog. Like, instantly, dog. Instantly, bro. I'm talking about I'd have jumped off the top rope and elbowed the fuck out of this nigga, dog. Like, come on, dog. This what, man, dog. Y'all, my real niggas know what I'm talking about, dog. Y'all, nigga, Westside and them know that, dog. The rules are in place so we can get away, bro, and we can get ours, bro, and feed our people, bro. Because that's all we doing this shit for, bro. We ain't trying, you can tell we ain't trying to hurt nobody. Ain't no guns getting pulled out. All you gotta do is some simple math. You young motherfucker, get the fuck away from the bag. Get away from the bag. Get away from the bag. So that means you gotta get away from the authorities without the bag on you, bitch ass nigga. Y'all car is a little bit hotter than the cars that we dropping the bag off to, fool. God damn, man.
able because of the tracking devices, but some things start catching up with people. November 4th, 2015, a couple weeks after the robbery, Dominic Calloway is arrested, as well as 18-year-old Devin Snoop Howard. And the individual named Levon Tippett also went down for stealing the Tahoe that they used on the play. Now, they conducted an interview with Calloway. He said he wasn't there, of course, but they had his DNA from the August 3rd Canoga Park robbery, and they had his DNA from the August 24th Gary's Rolex robbery. So his world started to crumble, but while he goes down, an MVP is getting out the feds. December 2015, G.I.'s is released from federal custody, and this is when they really start to play ball. So the top of the new year, G.I.'s waste no time. Dent picked the location, and now, since Dominic Calloway has went down, this is when E-Mac from Eastside Carver steps in as the muscle. And E-Mac is recruited by Dent. So they put him right into the fold. Dent, E-Mac, Baldy, Tiny Bogey, and Charles Mays start scouting the location. Again, Baldy being the point man to call it when it's green, E-Mac now has the title of a grabber. Now, he was looking for a job at this time, couldn't find one, ended up getting in contact with Daryl Dent, and got himself a contract with the team. And on January 2nd, 2016, this is when they press play on Ben Bridge Jeweler in Santa Monica. Now, this is G.I.'s first play. He's crawling before he's walking, but he's still present. And just like the last move, they choose another Tahoe, which is starting to become an identifier to ATF Special Agent Ryan.
Man, make sure y'all go subscribe to Rap News and Street Politics, man. This is content, man. He blessed me and said I could use this shit, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to him, man.
Mac, and they looking to win. Now, E-Mac being fresh, I don't know if he didn't trust these dudes, but he employs his own driver. He said he got his own way to the skit and his own way out. So he doing his own thing, but the dudes from Bounty Hunter is recruited by none other than J Stone. But the peace treaty didn't last long between E-Mac and the young dudes from Bounty Hunter. They get inside Ben Bridge, and the dudes from Bounty Hunter got spooked. They hit the glass 2 to 3 times, dropped the hammers, and ran out. They didn't create a hole big enough for a hand to fit through. The play went all bad. Now you got E-Mac complaining about these dudes being amateurs. And they were, because they took the Tahoe back to the Nickerson Gardens and ended up going down in it shortly after that. Now, since they missed, 5 days later, Tiny Bogey gives Dent a pistol. He's so thirsty, he's looking to strong on somebody. Luckily, they didn't come up with nothing, because like I said, those are some opportunist-ass crimes that end people up in the wrong positions fairly quick. But
this is why I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that, dog. I'm not down with us just running on the nigga who we see with a chain and a Rolex and getting it like that. That's weak, fool. Dog, that's not nothing. That's not, no, dog. I'm down with this, dog, because we ain't gotta hurt nobody. Dog, we ain't gotta hurt nobody. And it, like, man, but this the thing, though, dog. In the robbery, you can't never say that we ain't hurt nobody. I keep saying that they ain't, because they not. But, bro, man, things happen, dog. You know what I'm saying, dog? Somebody eventually will have to get hurt, dog, some type of way. Whether it be you gotta slap him in the back of the head with that motherfucker, or slap him with the front of that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now, dog.
While they working, they had another crew separate from everybody in this situation who was seemingly watching them. Another crew hit South Coast Plaza, Orange County Mall, in the same fashion, smash and grab, getting off with 133 Rolex watches worth more than $2 million. And police find a Chevy Impala.
Bro, these niggas went for the gusto, dog. Soon as that nigga got out, hey, that nigga who was in the feds, that little Cuban looking ass nigga, that nigga already had his shit planned. When I get out this whole nigga, I'm finna be rich, nigga. I'm going for the gusto from out the gate, nigga. We ain't playing no gang. 133 rollies, nigga. Nigga, 130. Not no bullshit. This is not no foo-foo shit, bro. We talking about these are Rolex stores. Bro, these niggas taken from the Rolex store, dog. Top grade shit, dog. They probably let people in one at a time and shit, dog. Or they only let you in when you think, there's a lot of you niggas when they think you're important or something, man. I'm telling you, dog, you gotta go in these places sophisticated looking, dog. Like,
Maybe not in Cali though, you know what I'm saying? But still though, because you know in Cali it's a big thing. Everybody got them hoes. But still though, dog, 133 Rolexes, dog, and you understanding we have a buyer. That's the thing. You could get away with the shit, but who gonna wanna buy that high shit? Man, we got Habibi. I guarantee you it's Habibi. Habibi is right on front and center with a bankroll of millions in his account, ready to send that shit right over to you niggas.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
About a mile away from the scene, abandoned. Again, same mask, same MO, sweatshirts.
Dog.
So you know what the time bandits had to do, man. They couldn't let these niggas one-up them. A couple days later, January 22nd, 2016, 4 p.m., they in Woodland Hills at Mania Jewelry. Now, this is when a popular dude in Inglewood gets into the play. A dude named Daggum, an individual that sadly lost his life, I believe on the same day Draco lost his life, where he was killed in Inglewood off La Brea in 2021. Now, Daggum had connections to GIs. GIs told Dent to take Daggum on the move because he has a clean look. Now, Daggum, a real Inglewood dude before Dent came around and all that shit, this was a young homie over there. And Daggum, because of the clean look, he's able to get closer into the store. He pops in as the scout, saying that he saw Rolexes in the spot. Now, GI suggested that they take Daggum on the move, on the full move, but I don't think they ended up going through with that. Now, along with Daggum, Baldy and Dent also went to scout this situation out, and Calloway, 2 months after going down with his DNA being found at 2 other robbery scenes, is back on the move, going inside. Now, because of what they seen with the security guard, they needed a weapon, but everybody was complaining about not wanting the weapon in the same whip as the jewelry and all that shit, so they had concrete transport the
rules and regulations, nigga. No weapons would cross that jewelry, dog. Cause I don't want you niggas to get no type of thought of I'ma pop this nigga and run out with the bag. That sound cool? That sound right? Smart, right? They got these little man, hey. Bro, yes, dog. Y'all not finna get that on your mind. Pop everybody and burn off with the jewelry. Oh, nah, we ain't doing that. Nah, that's not gonna happen.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Salute, Jason, salute.
The firearm, and Baldy drove the players to the scene this time. Now, along with Bones Calloway, some unnamed individuals popped into Mania Jewelry, and the female employee saw them come and hit the panic button. She's on the phone with the owner of the jewelry store telling them they being robbed. Bones Calloway put the pistol to her head and tell her to hang that shit up and lay her down. And they ended up hitting for 3 Rolexes, a Rolex Oyster, a date yacht, and a Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust with the limited edition blue dial. They hit for 1 Omega and some other jewelry, overall coming out with approximately $200,000 in jewelry out of Woodland Hills. Now,
you seen how them few watches was worth that much? That's what I'm telling y'all, dog. One of them watches had a leather band. It was a limited edition blue with a blue dial on that bitch. A lot of that shit is limited. The dog, it's rich folk shit, dog. It's not no bullshit. That's why if I would chose a watch, fuck a Audemars, fuck all that shit, bitch. I'm stuck in a 90, man. Give me a Rollie, a real one, all gold like Nip Hustle, nigga. Real Rollie, nigga, all gold. It's worth, man, you don't need them diamonds. Man, this shit was worth the money. This shit going up and up and up and up and up, bro. Telling you.
Like I said, Tony Gold, the main buyer in this. I've spoke about buyers in our previous videos about these dudes at one point are gonna fold. That's just what it is. They're not really a part of the game. They're taking advantage of niggas, hitting people over the head with the prices. And when shit go bad, they go bad. Now, everything hasn't blown up yet, but Tony Gold is somewhat becoming more distant with Daryl. And he has a middleman meeting with Daryl, not really dealing with him and answering his calls properly. But they ended up getting the jewelry to him, and they ended up bringing about 12 to 15 racks total, which came out to about 3 racks apiece. And this was the first successful robbery that GI's was a part of now that he was out fresh into the streets. And when he touched this money, this is when the robbery started to ramp up. These dudes seemingly was on a robbery once a week after this. So that was January 22nd, February 7th pull up, Super Bowl Sunday. 11:30 in the morning, another Ben Bridge in Thousand Oaks. Now, Brown Eyes Kenneth Paul, who again was around in 2014, is back on the scene. J-Bone is back in the fold. The usual, Baldy is present, and Dent goes with the three of them to scout Ben Bridge out. Now, they were initially going to scout Ulysses Harden because when they scouted Ben Bridge previously, there was a security kiosk outside of the spot. Now, when they went back, the security kiosk was gone, so they said this was the spot. Now, the runners inside, J-Bone and Brown Eyes, set to be the torpedoes, one with the hammer, one grabbing. Jeremy Tillett, Widget, employed as the driver because he had his own vehicle. We also got G-Eyes and Concrete. G-Eyes planning with Dent on the back end outside of the play, and Concrete being the switch car driver. Charles Mays being the lead car to lead Concrete back safely to the spot where the handoff of the bag goes to Dent. This time the stolen car that they used, black Suburban, and these Chevys keep showing up. So 11:30 Super Bowl Sunday morning, a female of Ben Bridge is on the phone with her daughter, telling her the chicken wing recipe for the Super Bowl party, when Brown Eyes and J-Bone pop in with a Spanish accent and say this is a robbery. They get her off the phone and do their business, hitting for 37 Rolexes, making out with a retail value of $300,000. Now everything made it into Dent's hands from Concrete properly, and Dent took him to the buyer. The buyer comes back with an offer of $35,000. You know, about 10% of the retail value. When G-Eyes hears this, he says no. And you know, this is what I talk about with Bogart politics and things like that. Shit be getting tricky. G.I.'s been sitting down this whole time. They've been taking what they needed. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I talked about with these play extenders. Now, he says no. He wants the jewelry to come to his crib. Not only you drive from Thousand Oaks to West Hollywood, you're supposed to leave the merchandise there. The jeweler had to take the merchandise wherever he took it to assess it. They asked for the jewelry back. Now you got to take it from West Hollywood to 84th and Western. That's a play extender. This shit should have been over, especially for what happened after.
We call that a play extender, man.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
G.I.'s gets it, separates all the jewelry, he assesses it, and he figures out 35 was the accurate number and to go ahead and take the offer. Now they got to drive it back to West Hollywood and take the 35. Jeremy Tillett, Widget ended up getting 7 bands along with pretty much everybody else that was on the play, which was a fair move. G.I. said he wanted everybody's pay to line up. No funny business, but he falls out with Concrete because he accused Concrete of keystering the watch. He said he think a watch is missing, and Concrete, being the car that drives the watch to Daryl, was the lone suspect. So G.I.'s Concrete fall out. G.I.'s fires Concrete from Hoover, terminates his contract, and he said it really stems from his bad judgment and mishandling the work. Remember, Concrete had Junior Manchester throw out hundreds of $1,000s of watches on the 405. So this is what led to Concrete getting his contract expired. But 10 days later, here they are at West Time Jewelers in West Hollywood. This time, Tiny Bogey's the lead. Now at this time, as you see, these dudes are on quite a run, and some things start to change up. You know, dudes out here busting side missions. Daryl Dent had got out for a side robbery. He was out on bond. Some other dudes had active warrants, and some things started to change up. Daryl opted not to drive anymore in his own vehicle. He wanted to ride with people. So when they started plotting on West Time and West Hollywood, he rode with Baldy to scout the location. Tiny Bogey, again, was the lead on this one. He had some little females that he recruited to scout, sent the females inside to assess the inventory. E-Mac, chosen for guard control again with the stick. And Jay Stone, again, top recruiter, got them young dudes from Hoover as the runners. Now, Jay Stone was trying to separate himself from the situation in terms of taking a more leadership position. Like I said, a lot of the older dudes was trying to kick back like Green Eyes and Dent and just send dudes off. So Jay Stone had to drive on this play. He didn't really want to do it, upset about it. He felt like it was too risky. But many times on many different robberies, Tiny Bogey, like I said, the on-site manager, was the one in niggas' ears really pressing the issue about what role they was going to play. So the play was supposed to jump off February 16, 2016. The first trip, West Time was closed by the time they got there, so they stayed in a motel that night. Now, Dent had court in the morning, so he couldn't attend the show. So again, this fully put Tiny Bogey with running the shit under GI supervision. Now the young dudes from Hoover get up in there with E-Mac and lay the security down and strip him of his revolver and got him out the way. It was 3 people total entering the store. And the operations manager was training the new employee at the time. These dudes popped in, he turns around, it's a gun in his face, and he's being asked if he want to die today. And in total, they hit for 18 Audemars watches, totaling approximately $575,000.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Man, dog. See, them other Audemars and shit is worth money too. But I just want dog, that shit gotta have diamonds and shit and but don't get it twisted. It's Audemars without diamonds that cost too. But when we talk about gold, it's them rollies, man. Them rollies is what's up, bro. That's why they was going after them. But man, dog, 575. Man.
And some more cookie crumbs were left on the scene. A yellow hard hat, a sledgehammer, and a baseball cap was left behind, and police hit it with the DNA kit, also known as the Bold kit. They swabbed all the pieces of evidence and took him in. Now, ATF Special Agent Ryan Stearman is at home sick February 17, 2016, when the LA County Sheriff's deputy hits his phone. He been telling people if they see anything about these robberies, tap in with him regardless. He don't want to overtake it. He just want to assist. This is what the sheriffs did, tapped into his phone as soon as West Time was hit. He jumps into the car and rushes to the scene. And when he gets there, he learns sheriff deputies apprehended a 22-year-old dude from Hoover named Pancho, who crashed his getaway car, another stolen Chevy Tahoe. Now, when he sat down in that room, Pancho immediately admitted to being inside the store and being the one that bagged the watches up. When Stearman asked him who put him up to it, he said he was no snitch. And I quote, he said, "I'm willing to sacrifice." Now, after Stearman pressed on him, he said this was the ATF investigating a federal crime in conspiracy to interfere with interstate commerce by robbery. He said most of West Time's
jewelry. Come on, man.
It's a Rico, man.
And merchandise comes from Switzerland. This is why it's now a federal case. And Pancho is playing with the big boys, looking at least 15. Stearman pulled the violin out and started talking about how them niggas don't care about him, how they already forgot about him, how they was gonna leave him inside. Pancho started crying. He said it was all planned, but it wasn't planned by him. And he said he was recruited by none other than Justin J. Stone Henning himself. And you know, this put a smile on Ryan Stearman's face that day, because when he looked up Justin Henning, he found them Inglewood family gangster blood connections, and he showed Pancho a mug shot. Henning's face was pointed out in that room that day. Now, going through Inglewood family's history, they were able to link J. Stone to Keith G.I.'s Walton and the Crenshaw Manchester terrorists, the CMT gang. And also, another one of Stearman's informants had also put a former professional baseball player named Daryl Dent Jr. on Stearman's radar. And now they started getting traction. But back after the West Time robbery, these dudes meet with the buyer, sell these Audemars, make about 60 racks. Not only did that dude from Hoover go down, they were also caught on camera the evening prior doing the scout and pulling the door to see if the doors was open. Those females that Tiny Bogey had enlisted to scout. Now, E-Mac was upset because he felt like he was getting less than some other people when he was putting more work in. Again, E-Mac is going in there, busting a gun, stripping niggas of their gun, playing the muscle, and doing some heavy lifting, not just grabbing the watches. So he's upset about his tape. But that doesn't stop them, because 3 days later, they in the Glendale Galleria at Bendy's Jewelers. Now, G.I.'s Dent and a female scout had put their eyes on this location, and they was looking for Rolexes. Now, they had everybody together. Widget was back on the play. E-Mac, J-Bone, J-Stone, Tiny Bogey, And now they had these two new little players coming off the bench. Tiny Bogey got his little homie Junior Bogey. Wilson Alima, aka F-Nut, 24 at the time, Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods. And they got a dude named Shane Lewis, aka Hangout, who was also 24 at the time, from Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods. So they assembled a team, they did all their scouting, did everything properly, but they were initially worried about the security guard. Now, Bogey bought the strap to the play. Junior Bogey and Hangout was supposed to run inside. You know, the young dudes. E-Mac was back in control of the weapon. Dent went back on his own word, drove his motorcycle to the play. But when they was just about to run in there, they did one final look through. There was an armed security, mall security, and a lone police officer in the mall. They called it off. And all the while, some shit was going on the under with G.I.'s Walton and his lawyer. While Ryan Stearman is gathering evidence, putting his shit together on the IFGs, Keith Green Eyes Walton and his attorney request a meeting. The attorney said Walton, who was facing a federal gun possession charge, hoped to reduce his sentence by providing helpful information about other crimes. And that...
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
was corroborated because G.I.'s also went to Daryl Dent and told him, hey, give me the full names of the people that were involved in the Century City robbery where they hit for $1.6 million on August 24th, 2015. Remember, G.I.'s was in the federal custody at that time. He was looking to leverage that case and the people in that case to get his gun charge sentence reduced in the feds. Dent gives him the name of Dominic Calloway and names everybody else involved. He told Dent right there that if he needed to, he was going to snitch to get his time cut. Ryan Stearman said he sat down with G.I.'s as well as an assistant U.S. attorney, Scott Tinley. And they said G.I.'s was in there arrogant. G.I. spoke about the Trackstar robbery, said he used to do it. He was laughing about certain people being torpedoes. And he spoke about some crimes that happened. When he got back to Dent, he told him they grilled him hard. He was sweating bullets. And he told Dent that the feds bought his name up. Now, the feds caught on to what he was trying to do because on February 29th, the armed robbery of Ben Bridge in Torrance in the Delamo Mall at 10:30 in the morning went down. G.I.'s was using his conversation with the feds as a distraction and as an alibi to separate himself from the robberies. So before the play went down on February 29th, G.I.'s calls Dent, tells him come down to his pop's tow yard to run the play from there. He wanted himself and Daryl Dent to be away from the play and let Tiny Bogey lead everything. He said they was gonna sit in his pop's office and he gave Daryl Dent the videotape of them in the office to prove as an alibi of them not being involved in this armed robbery. And the thing is, G.I.'s put this play into motion. His homie Tommy had told him this spot looked good and a lot of the planning was done at G.I.'s house. G.I.'s essentially was setting these dudes up because he did not make anybody aware other than Dent of him talking to the feds and them being onto everything that's going on. Now, amidst the planning, he had people put in money for them to go fetch a stolen car and they planned Ben Bridge looking for some Rolexes. Now again, Tiny Bogey being a lead, he appointed everybody to their spot. Hangout Lewis was going inside the store. Another dude coming off the bench, Av Boy from Inglewood Avenue, Pyru. Scott, E-Mac, back as the gunman, going inside the store with Hangout. This time, J-Bone was gonna be the last driver to collect the merchandise. J-Stone was gonna be the backup driver, secondary on the play. And to go in with Hangout and E-Mac, they needed one more little homie, Bully Badass, also from Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods, 21 at the time. Now, he thought he was going to be a driver. It was sold to him by J-Bone that he was going to be driving. When he met up at the spot with Tiny Bogey looked at him and said, boom, you going inside. And this is what I mean by them dudes sending their little homies. Now, again, this play happened on February 29th. It was supposed to go down February 28th, but when they got there, E-Mac said it didn't look right with the security guard. Tiny Bogey pressed these dudes. His little homie was trying to get out of it. He was calling him a buster for not wanting to participate. And he said, what's the difference of security being there today? Because they're going to be there tomorrow. Eventually, they called it off for that day, and they popped back up February 29th. So they pop in the
Come
store.
on, man.
Emac pistol whips the security guard and drops him, drags him into the store. The employee watches the whole thing. They lay him down and try to strip his watch off his wrist. It wouldn't come off, so they put the gun to his head, had him take it off. And they ended up coming up on 30 Rolexes and a bracelet worth approximately $450,000. But they also left some more shit at the scene. They dropped the sledgehammer. Police collected it into evidence. Now, after this robbery, they get out and they do the switch car at the Torrance Marriott. There was an individual at the Torrance Marriott parking lot that had watched them do the whole switch, and he felt something looked off. He seen the tires screeching, niggas talking about go, said it didn't look right, and he calls the police. Now, Junior Bogart is driving. He got Bully Badass and Hangout in his car. He pulls over, switches his plate. He had the paper plate on, put his real plate back on, and they got in the wind. Now, as they driving, Ryan Stearman is on their way to the scene. They locate the getaway car and find a handwritten note inside with hood names on it. Bully Badass, Matt, Lil KO, Hangout, Nate. It was found inside the getaway car with each dude's phone number on it. And they end up catching up with Junior Bogey's car. And Bogey, Hangout, and Bully Badass go down. Now, as soon as that happened, GIs told everybody to block them dudes' number, block Junior Bogey number, stop communicating with them. And shit started to go bad between all these dudes, with Junior Bogey changing his name to CWC, Bully Badass changing his name to CWB, and Hangout changing his name to CWA, confidential witnesses. And it was for sure gonna be bad anyway. As soon as Junior Bogey got to the county, he's calling J-Bone phone and is talking too much. Them niggas had to ask him, why you keep calling? And you gotta feel for that. You gotta understand. If you go down and your homies don't go down, stop calling. Don't be calling niggas' phones. For what? It's one call to somebody who was not associated to the situation. See if you can get bailed out, whatever. Don't call your homies that were with you on the play when you go down or if you go down. And they didn't go down. Junior Bogey's on his phone all emotional and shit, asking if he's gonna be good and telling niggas I love you and shit like that. Hey man, chill out. J-Bone was telling him his big homie was acting funny because that was at the direction of Green Eyes telling niggas to block their numbers. Don't talk to them dudes that went down. They the young homies, they probably gonna go bad. This is big, he already knew. And on the other end, Bully Badass stated that he felt that Junior Bogey was going to start cooperating based on how he was breaking down in the car when they was getting pulled over. He said, I need to beat this dude to it. He started cooperating, and he's sitting in the room with Ryan Stearman. Stearman say Bully Badass looked terrified. He said he didn't know too much, but Hangout knew a little bit more. And once he realized he was facing federal time, he named Tiny Bogart as the individual that recruited him. They talked about Baldy, GIs, and Stearman knew it was a green light once they dropped GI's name. But they wasn't done yet. Now, just because them dudes went down, again, like I told you, they separated the merchandise from the runners. They went down, the merchandise didn't. They ended up selling that work. Bully Badass and Junior Bogey were never paid. And when he got on the stand, he felt like he was being used as some bait and a pawn. And he was scared because he was facing a mandatory of 7 years. So they ended up selling them Rolexes from Delamo Mall for 60 racks and split it up. Dent met J-Bone and got the watches off him, and this is when J-Bone told him that Junior Bogey got picked up. But they wasn't done. They was low-key far from done. So that was February 29th. March 9th, they back in Canoga Park at Ben Bridge. Again with the pistol, hammers, they hit for 36 Rolexes worth $600,000 and threw out the tracking device, which was found by LAPD. Right after this, Junior Manchester goes down for his DNA that was found all the way.
Hey, but damn, not this time. Hey, see, they done caught on to shit, dog. They scrambling damn it through the pack, nigga. Rolexes. Oh, y'all try to get me out. We throwing this shit out. Yeah, got y'all this time. Y'all thought y'all had us. But they still gonna get caught, though.
Way back on October 18th, 2015 in Mission Viejo. And 4 days after this, J-Bone, who's still operating outside, spearheads the team for another West Time jeweler in Malibu. Now this time the vehicle of choice, white Kia Soul. They got Evan Emax Scott back on the play. This time he's back with the pepper spray, not the pistol. And the same operations manager that was training that employee at the other West Time, where they asked him if he wanted to die, he also was the operations manager of this West Time in Malibu. So when they jump in the store, Emac pepper sprays the shit out of the employee again. He's screaming on the phone with the operations manager, telling them that they being robbed. He was the only employee in the store. And this was sloppy on West Time. He probably could have sued West Time, because if you know this get down, retail stores can't open with one individual. You got to have a dude that got the keys, and you got to have somebody else. That's protocol now. I don't know if that's some newer shit. This was 2016, but he shouldn't have been the only employee in the store at that time. But they threw his iPhone in the trash, and they had some more females as lookouts on this one. The females had walked inside of a bikini store, which was the only other store open at that time. And after it all went down, the employee in that store said she felt like that was a throw off and they were distracting her from the robbery. Now, to go in with Evan Scott, J-Bone had also recruited somebody who ended up being confidential witness G, unindicted co-conspirator. And you see how shit's starting to close in. That dude was only paid $1,000 when J-Bone told him that the watches came back fake. They getting over on niggas and doing bad work. But that's because J-Bone went in as well with E-Mac, got his hands dirty. And they got off with Breitland's, Frank Mueller's, Audemars, Omega's, Hublots, hit for $1.4 million over here in Malibu. Now, Evan Scott, he was confronted by J-Bone and Dent. He keistered a watch. They was on him because he took too long to hand the bag over at the meetup. Shit went bad, and they got handled on the back end, only making a total of $45,000. Dent met up with GIs in the black Range Rover, and Dent said it's time to fire E-Mac from Carver Park Compton. His contract gotta go. And everybody had tension with E-Mac after that. And by this time, with all these people snitching and going down and doing funny shit, they pinged Baldy's phone at one of the towers near 3 jewelry stores at the time each one was being robbed. And Stearman could see all the suspects were talking to one another on the days of the robbery. This is when he started putting up pole cameras on people's houses, watching their movements. And GIs, who was eventually told he needed to turn himself in to the feds in May, said he needed some more victories. He needed more successful heists, and that's where these dudes get cracking 3 weeks later, again in Santa Monica at Ben Bridge. Now, Dent planned this with Tiny Bogey and GIs. Again, GIs knew they was going down. He just needed some tuck money. I don't think he knew they was on to him about the jewelry store robberies. He was too worried about his gun sentence. Now, Junior Bogart went bad. Tiny Bogey brings in his lady homegirl, Lady Bogey, as well as Brown Eyes again, and some new players, Vincent Haynes and Brandon White. Lady Bogey requested to be the driver. Tiny Bogey, the final bag man. Haynes was the walker, but he was hesitant. You know how these young niggas be. They want to do the driving. They want to do everything but go inside that motherfucker. Tiny Bogey not having that. He sent Haynes' ass right up in the store. Haynes tried to call in sick. Said he didn't want to do anything while he was sick. GIs begged him to participate. They called him a bitch for not being with it. Then he shows up on training day. Brown Eyes is the one that recruited these dudes. And Brown Eyes' girlfriend was also a driver on the play. Now, since these were new players off the bench, GIs gave them instruction on how to do it. They want to hit the display case from the inside, not in the front or the top. You got to jump the counter because the glass is most vulnerable where the sliding door is. They hit for 24 Tag Heuer watches worth $67,000. And this was officially the end of their run. They were arrested, leaving the location. April 24th, 2016. J-Bone goes down. Again, his DNA was found all the way back from their first move, August 3rd, 2014, where he left his left glove and his mask. His left glove had a DNA on the interior. The mask had the DNA on the back. He set up in that room with Detective David Rodriguez and kept it solid. Walton turns himself into the feds in May for his case, but June 16th, ATF and FBI start kicking in doors. They took down Daryl Dent, June 16th, 2016. They took down Jay Stone, who was staying on 78. When police got his phones, they said they gotta put these phones in airplane mode. That's how the IT department wants it, so nothing can be altered before the IT department gets the phones. After all that money, he had $1,400 left on him. Dent, $0. Stanley Baldy Ford also went down, June 16, 2016. Kenneth Paul, Brown Eyes, isn't arrested until November 7th. The cookie fully crumbled over here, and it was over because when GIs thought that he was gonna have to say something, Daryl Dent beat him to it, turned state's witness, cooperated on the stand. When Keith GIs Walton, Robert Tiny Bogey Johnson, Justin J. Stone Henning, Evan E. Max Scott, Jameson J. Bone LaForest, and Jeremy Widget Tillett took it to trial. Them young dudes also took the stand. Junior Bogey, Hangout, Bully Badass. Dent cried on the stand. He was facing a mandatory minimum of 107 years. Federal agents moved his mom and his girlfriend and wrote a check to the new leasing office to get them out the way. When LaForest went down, they called him on Google, asking Google how to invest money from the robbery. Tiny Bogey was trying to do all he could. He had stole a protective order document of one of the co-defendants named Fred Pittman, a random bench warmer. He had sent the note to a pastor and his mama, showing the paperwork and labeling him as a rat. He also sent it to his homies, and the paperwork was floating around the club saying Fred Pittman is a rat. But with Daryl Dent taking a stand, telling everything, man, he got GI's hit with 660 months. Probably will never see the light of day again. Stanley Ford, again, who was out for armed bank robbery, hit with 300 months. Tiny Bogey, 264 months. J-Bone ended up going down, getting hit with 272 months. Bones Calloway out of Compton, 72 months. Snoop Howard, 90 months. Junior Manchester, 120 months. Av Boy, 36 months. When she stepped in on one play, Lady Bogey, 12 months. Brown Eyes, aka Lil KO, 57 months. And E-Mac, again, the feds allege he did the dash June of last year. Now his plea agreement had an L in it. You know, he was strong-arm and shit. These dudes was facing a lot of time. I don't know the specific number that he got hit with, but the BOP alleges that he is still on the run. Jay Stone caught a loop in the case. He wasn't found guilty of all the charges, and some federal prosecutors had messed up some paperwork and that did some funny shit in front of the jury. Jay Stone filed his motion, got his case dismissed, but he couldn't stop going down for other crimes after the shit. Since he was released from the feds, he caught a gun charge, went down for a murder. Most recently, October 2025, he went down for a DUI. All the while in the back end, the feds still trying to clip this dude. They basically tossed that full dismissal and told him he can have a retrial. So he has a retrial set for next month, February 2026, where he's still going to be tried for these robberies because these dudes took the stand and implicated him in all his movements on the plays. And as you can imagine, Daryl Dent, ex-MLB player, came to the hood to fuck with some gangsters, ended up taking a stand on everybody. He chilling right now, not in federal custody. This how that shit play out, and this is what happened when the Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods put together a $6 million team getting cracking throughout LA, man. Y'all make sure
y'all subscribe to Rap Street News, man. This nigga got all the content down. Some of the most dumbest shit I ever seen in my life, dog. But I can't say that them niggas did not get their money on. They definitely went and got it by any means necessary, dog. They definitely went and got it by any means necessary, dog. For real. Like, it's never enough, dog. Y'all gotta understand, that shit is robbing and jacking is never enough, man. You never have enough, bro. It's never enough, dog. It's never enough, man. So, I'm out of here, man. Y'all been a beautiful audience, man. Since we on the West Coast, shit, we might as well just leave it there. Shit, you know, we might as well just leave it there. Shit, you know.
We still here, still alive, still smoking, still drinking, still staying alive, still taking care of children or whatever. Still strapped. We just still. My nigga Johnny got another one. We just still, nigga. Still having money, still having motion.
Motion detected at the front door.
Still a hottest nigga coming out of Oakland. Catch a op slipping, then he get a promotion. Still riding foreign, still fucking bad bitches. Bitch, I ain't nothing like your last nigga. I don't give a fuck cause your ass bigger. Bitch, I'm tryna see if that bag bigger. I know Ann and Phil with me. I know Den and Moan with me. I know Main and Rail with me. Them seminary niggas that go to hell with me. Still wearing denim tier in gallery. Still wearing Hellstar, still in Supreme. Long as I'm still alive, bitch, I'm still a king. Long as I'm still alive, bitch, I'm still a king. Still breaking on Barbie and Ling Ling. broke, bitch, can't afford me, bitch, I need things. Jordan 3s, 4s, and 5s, them new pink things. Blue Rose, purple Maybach, Bentley, pink thing. Still taking trips out the country, nigga. Still running through these blue hundreds, nigga. I still be riding Lambos. I still could fuck all my ex-hoes. I still could fire a broke, bitch. I still charge a dub for a show, bitch. Still 5-900, nigga, FOD. Still a seminary, nigga, till I rest in peace. It's filthy.
We just steal.
Man, we just steal.
I ain't doing nothing, man. Steal, you feel me? Steal that nigga. Steal that nigga. Ain't nothing changing. You feel me? Still got this FOD shit around my neck. This shit dirty, too. This shit clean.
Like, share, subscribe with your bitch ass.